Okay, let's get started on part 3. So in part 3, we have 4 paragraphs, A, B, C, D. They all talk about the same subject. Just going to erase that so we can see it. They talk about one topic, but they have different contents per paragraph. And our goal is to match the paragraphs A to D to the information below. And if the answer is not provided in any of the paragraphs, you just write E for not there, not available, perhaps. Now, what we're first going to do is read questions 1 to 9, highlight some keywords that you might find above. So first one is bases have interesting tastes like bubble-like texture and bubble-like texture. I'm going to highlight bubble-like texture because that seems like a key piece of information. Litmus is manufactured from organisms like lichens. Okay, litmus and probably lichens or lichens. Indicators will change the color depending on the nature of the substance, basic or acidic. So basic or acidic will be helpful. Let's do it like that. A tool for measuring ions. Acres in acid in Latin. Acres is acid in Latin. The release of hydroxide ions. So we're going to highlight that. Acid and bases work in coordination. So we're going to highlight that. And it'll be something about the coordination. That's pretty key. Bases are present in most beverages. Bases are not naturally occurred. Indicators. Okay. Now we're going to read each paragraph, and you will see that these words will pop up in the paragraphs. Keep a note of that. First thing we're practicing is speed reading or skimming the text. So we are going through it fairly fast. We are not reading slowly. We're just looking for key pieces of information. So let's begin. I'm not going to read out loud, so we are going to practice speed reading. And I will highlight as I am reading, so you'll see the keywords I'm thinking about. Let's start with A. There we go, we got acids and bases. Perfect. We found that answer. Okay. So I do remember there being one question about the Latin word of acid, and we found it here. But we're not going to answer yet. We'll keep reading. B, let's do the same thing. Start reading. Perfect. Do you remember there was a few questions that asked us about indicators and changing color and litmus? Now we're very close to having that answer. Let's read C. Litmus is discussed here as well. Natural indicator, that's good. And I don't remember any other questions asking about the pH scale, so that seemed irrelevant. Let's do D, last one. Okay. I don't remember a lot of questions coming from here, except for the words acid and bases. Basic. Shouldn't it be acid and bases? pH bases, acid and bases. Okay. So let's get started with our question. Which text talked about textures? An interesting bubble-like texture. Now, I did see the word texture here. Soap-like texture. Soap, baking soda, those are all things that will feel bubbly. Soap and bubbles are similar. So we don't have to think too much. That one is B. Litmus is manufactured from organisms like lichen. We already know that two paragraphs talks about lichen. I think it was two. Oh no, they had Latin. Where did we highlight? Litmus. Was it called litmus? Lichen's organism. Litmus. Yeah, okay, so yeah, indicators. But litmus also talks about it, so we have it here as well. Okay, litmus is made from lichens. Okay, there we go. So just be careful because it talked about litmus in two paragraphs, but here is the correct answer. That's paragraph C. Indicators will change color depending on the nature of the substance, basic or acidic. Now I'm pretty sure we talked about color somewhere. Change of its color, whether a substance is acidic or base. Perfect. Paragraph B. A tool for measuring ions. Where did we talk about a tool for measuring ions? I don't think I highlighted anything. However, it does talk about hydroxide ions here. Do they talk about a tool? pH scale, it's kind of a tool. Let's see if that's the closest we can get to a tool. Let's find other words like ions. That's still paragraph C. We have ions here in paragraph B. Is there anything about a tool? No tool. Not about ions. Okay, so the closest we could get for a tool is the pH scale.